most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Okay, we want to talk about strengthening the ankle, right, Brad?
Right, Bob. Ankle is the most commonly injured part of the body, and we
A
need to
lot
get
of
those.
ankle sprains out there.
He interrupted me. No, he's right. There's a ton of them out there. Everyone has had a sprained ankle. I think I'm pretty safe to say that. So I want to show you a way to strengthen your ankle, whether it's after an injury or if you want to strengthen it so you prevent an injury. So
Let's get started.
that's right, Bob. What are we going to do?
I'm going to first do ankle dorsiflexion.
Good. This is so the goal of this video is to show you things at home we can do without buying anything. With one exception, we've got some options, but other than that, it's pretty darn.
So we're going to want to lift the toes up. We're doing dorsiflexion.
Yep.
Now you can start off by being fairly close to the wall, and then later on, it's a little harder.
Yep. So he's leaning against the wall. You can see his body sliding up against the wall.
Now this is for the beginner, but after a while, it begins to burn.
Oh yeah, it's a good option to start with. And then I'll show you an option that if you use like a 2x4, and you know your ankles may be 50% improved, but you want to give yourself a little more balance. You're an athlete, and you want a little more balance involved. You can do this, and I'm strengthening it this way. And after you do 10 to 20 of these, now this is one that up to 20 reps I think is appropriate because it's, you know, you're running or doing things on it for long periods of time. When that gets too easy, you can do 20 of them. You could try off the edge of a step, but only if you're really got something to hold on to, like handrails.
Right.
And even then, because what can happen is your foot could slide off.
Yeah, safety comes first.
Yeah. But to get full range of motion, I'm going to keep a lot of weight here and just work that full range of motion. I'm not going to do this one like this.
Right.
You got to have this foot on here. Otherwise, it's not safe.
Yeah.
You can go full weight on the 2x4 and work balance.
All right. What about the other direction, Brad?
Plantar flexion.
Right.
So you could just start out like this.
Right.
Do your 20 and then go to 1 foot. Okay. Do your 20 there. When that gets too easy,
more challenging.
Well, then we want to actually increase the range of motion and go below neutral. So we're going to start out again with that 2x4,
right,
and drop out below neutral, and then you can see that's going to make it a little more difficult, a little more balance involved. And you can see I'm struggling to hold my balance. I've got something to hold on to here. Whoa. Okay. And this is where you can go to the steps. Make sure you have something to hold on to. The handrails, if you got rails on both sides, is ideal. And you're going to go to here. You get a little stretch, which is nice, and then work through it. Start out with both feet. Get used to it. And then if this is my sprained ankle, I'm still going to keep this foot on, but I'm going to work this.
This will be a challenge.
Yep. If you can get...
Again, it'd be good if you have handrails.
Yep. Now, if you're an athlete, you're a basketball player, a runner, sprinter, you're definitely going to want to start doing these at the end of your rehab. I'm not going to get into that high level. We actually have a couple videos that do go through ankle training for the athlete. If you Google that, you'll get to it. Now, the hard part for ankle training, and the most important, is strengthening the muscles on the side to prevent this, because that's probably the way you sprained it. 90% statistically. So we're going to start out with shoes on carpet or floor, and I call these the ziggy zaggies.
Ziggy zaggies. Real professional term there, Brad.
Yeah. Well, I'm zigging and zagging. That's the way I look at it. Now, you need to have your shoes on so you get your feet stick to the carpet.
A little resistance.
Exactly. And go about 10 feet, 5 feet. I don't have 10 feet to go here. And you're going to find your ankles are going to be getting tired. If it gets too easy, which it will, and, you know, the average person, you won't even have to go to 1 foot. But, you know, if you're an athlete or you want to go to some higher level activities, then you do it with 1 foot. And that gets much harder. And it's challenging your balance, getting your proprioception ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the last thing
The second to the last thing.
Second to the last thing. Now, I'm going to use a board. This is 3/4 inch thick. And Tanner's going to have to zoom in a little bit on this because I'm only put half my foot on there. And I'm balancing on my other leg right now. And I'm going to go down and do this motion. Okay. Now, that's not doing anything. I'm just getting ready for it. And where you put your foot on the edge of the board is going to make a difference.
Right.
I'm going to start right about in the middle. I'm going to start to put weight through this leg, about 50 to 75%. Have something to hold on to. I'm using the booyah stick. You can use a wall, a piece of furniture. And then start.
And the other foot is holding the board in place, right?
Yep. And I'm just touching that.
Sure.
If you had a larger board, piece of plywood, it would be a little easier. But this simulates when you actually roll your ankle. So we're working the muscles while you weight bear, and we're putting weight through it and strengthening the muscles. So this becomes a real functional way to strengthen your muscles. Now this can be a little challenging. So we can go this direction as well and work the other
And
side.
you really can't go with too thick a board, right, Brad? You can't.
Yeah, you do not
can't
want to
do
use
a step or
Yeah.
it'd just be too much.
You're not going to use a 2x4
You'll probably
because
roll your ankle.
then you will sprain.
Yeah.
Then you will say,
Yeah, we don't want you to sprain your ankle. during the
cursing at me
video.
for
Right.
Brad made me sprain my ankle while I was training. So
They do have pre-made wobble boards.
yep. If you get a wobble board, this one is a round one. They make them also that don't rotate round, but you'll see that. We have some videos on wobble board ankles training as well, but you put your foot on there, and this is, if you're a higher level athlete or just, go hiking through the woods,
Yeah.
uneven terrain, then you do probably want to do this
If
to
you
prevent.
tend to sprain your ankles a lot,
Yeah.
I'd maybe invest in a wobble board.
Yeah. Because, especially if you have a history of ankle sprains, those people,
Yeah.
you really need to strengthen a lot, not just for a week or two,
Strengthen and improve the proprioception.
but yep,
The
get your
sense of where your foot is
exactly
without looking at it.
right.
And
So
that will help that.
that's a good point. So when you get good, you want to be looking straight ahead, which changes your balance. And this is much harder than when I look down at it. It makes a difference. There's a lot of things going on with your
Yep.
ankles in your mind.
All right, get those ankles strong, right?
Yes, strengthen those ankles, get them strong like bull, and you will be going mountain climbing, doing all kinds of things you've never thought you could do before.
Good luck.